our 911 Communications Center received 164,374 calls. It's a lot of calls for Nassau County, let me tell you. Animal Control had 6,082 of those calls. The Fernandina Beach Fire Department had 3,654 of those calls. The Nassau County Fire Rescue had 11,541 of those calls. The Fernandina Beach Police Department had 21,353 of those calls. And the Nassau County Sheriff's Office had 121,744 of those calls, which was an increase of 24.1% over the previous year. So this is, I contributed some to the growth that we're having. Of course, a lot of more things are happening today, but our services are being needed more and more now. So we have to respond when we're called. We want to make sure we have the personnel to do that, to respond effectively, efficiently, and safely. Our jail population last year was, the average daily population was 271. We can house 315. That 271 was 11.07% increase over 2022. So a few more are being arrested. We had 1,104 vehicle crashes in the county. The Sheriff's Office investigated 67.57% of all those crashes. The Florida Highway Patrol, they investigate major serious injury crashes and fatality crashes in our county. So they have the expertise to do that. We had 20 traffic fatalities last year. Arrested 283 for DUI. And in spite of the rapid growth we're having, I attribute this to the personnel that we have that are out there being proactive, patrolling our community, making sure that we're preventing crime, not just reacting to crime, not just sitting around waiting on a crime to happen to respond to it. We're out there working with our community members, working with our business owners to give out information how they can reduce their chances of being a victim of crime. And as a result of all that, our crime rate actually went down 0.1%, which is about even. But I think that's a good thing. With all the growth we're having and not having a large spike in crime is a good thing. So I attribute it to all the men and women. A few weeks ago, we just had our sentencing trial for the individual who killed Deputy Boyers on the traffic stop back in 2021 over on the west side. He pled guilty, but because of what he did, he had the opportunity to be sentenced to either life in prison without parole or the death penalty. Of course, I wanted the death penalty. So we had the trial, and the jury came back. I wanted it to be a unanimous 12-0. It was 11-1. There was one lady who made the statement to the news, I think, that she was, as a Christian, she could not vote to put somebody to death. And my thought is, well, she shouldn't have been on the jury, because you got to be unbiased. You got to be able to listen to the evidence and make that decision, not have that decision made up ahead of time. Well, last legislative session, or last year, I think you had to have 12-0 vote for it to be a death penalty case, had to be unanimous. The legislature changed that to 8-4. At least 8 out of the 12 voted for the death penalty, then that's what will be recommended to the judge. So it was 11-1, which I think we're still waiting on the judge to make his final decision, but I don't think he would be brave enough to go against the citizens of our community. At least I hope not. But anyway, after the trial, the news media was there, and I made a statement. And I said, the defense attorneys said I shouldn't have said this. But I said, and it's usually 20 years. I've witnessed a death penalty carried out before, years ago, from a trooper that was killed that I used to work with. It's usually 20 years or more before these cases are carried out, and I don't know if I'll be alive at the time when it is. But I said, Lord willing, when this death penalty is carried out, I'll be sitting on the front row with a box of popcorn, eagerly waiting for him to take his last breath on earth. And when that happens, that will be a great day. Well, a few days later, somebody brought into the lobby and left it this huge bag of popcorn. And I'm hoping it won't be stale when it's hit the I'm winding down my role as president of the Florida Sheriff's Association. I was elected by all the other sheriffs last July. So this coming July, at the end of July, we'll have our summer conference, and I'll roll off and be what is considered the best position, and that's past president. But I've certainly enjoyed my term, traveling around the state, getting to see other agencies, talk to other people, see what's going on in other areas, what they're dealing with, and see, they're no different than we are. We're dealing with the same things, they just may be dealing with a larger scale. But I've certainly enjoyed that. The only other sheriff in Nassau County that was president of FSA was H.J. Youngblood, who was a sheriff when I was a kid. He was the longest serving sheriff. He served 28 years. So I don't know, it's a big deal for Nassau County to represent all the sheriffs around the state. I mean, that's a huge deal, and I'm honored that the other sheriffs thought I could represent them in a good manner. So I thank them for that.